From dawn to dusk, no food, no drink. You're starving, you can barely think. Your mouth waters at the smell of food. That burger, those fries, they look so good. But patiently must you wait until it's time to eat that date. Hi, guys, and welcome to The Passionate Palate, a podcast for food lovers and culinary explorers where we talk about various foods, flavors, and ingredients from around the world. I am your host, Zay. Today, we are going to talk about fasting, feasting, and focus in Ramadan. Ramadan is a holy month for Muslims all over the world where we fast from dawn to dusk to commemorate the revelation of the Holy Quran. We spend a lot of time in prayer and doing charitable deeds and acts. Fasting is a sacred act of worship. It brings us closer to God and it helps us develop self-control, willpower, gratitude, and compassion towards others. Since this show is for foodies and everyone who loves to eat, if you're like me and fasting during Ramadan, you can imagine the struggle. Oh, it's real. When that hunger just rips through your stomach and your mouth is as dry as the Sahara Desert, all you could do is just dream of that ice cold glass of water. And then you just count the hours and wait till it's time to break fast. But if you take a moment to understand why you're fasting and for whom, that hunger takes a step into the back of your mind. When you're in the state of fasting, you appreciate food and water more than you've ever done in your life. When we fast, we make an intention, a prayer to God. And it's amazing how when you make that intention, it helps you get through the day. I'm not saying that you don't feel the hunger. Of course you feel the hunger. But it's something special when you make an intention to fast than when you don't. Like, for example, say on a day I need to get my fasting blood work done, right? I haven't had my coffee in the morning or my tea. I haven't had anything to eat. And say your appointment is at, say, 10 o'clock. By 10:30 and, you just got your blood work done. You're starving. Like, you're so hungry. You're starving. You're just drive to the next, I don't know, coffee shop, wherever you could drink your water, eat something, and you feel good. But when you're fasting, you have no choice. You cannot reach out for anything. And that intention that you make, it really helps you. It calms you internally. And there's a sense of peace in your mind that kind of helps you go through the day. Fasting varies from country to country. In some countries, it's 14 to 16 hours, some 18, and some even more. I do want to note, though, that fasting is exempt for little children, the elderly, those who are sick, are traveling, and women who are menstruating or are pregnant. The first meal that we have before dawn is called sahar, sehri, or suhoor. And that name it depends on what country you live in. I grew up in Sri Lanka and we used to call it sahar. And it's important that meal is something very nourishing and that will give you the energy and sustenance that you need to grow throughout the whole day. So something that's rich in protein is ideal. For example, brown rice, yogurt, oatmeal, bananas, chicken or fish. And for hydration, it's important to eat some watermelon and drink some coconut water. But growing up in Sri Lanka, we used to have a full rice and curry meal. And it was delicious, but we would feel the effects of it during the day. So that's why it's important to not have anything too oily, fried, spicy, because you will get heartburn. And it's not a fun feeling. When we're in the state of fasting, we crave everything and anything. From a Nashville hot chicken sandwich to smash burgers, to dumplings, to pizzas, to a cheesesteak sandwich, you name it, we crave it, right? Strangely, maybe it's because I'm South Asian, we crave something fried. Growing up in Sri Lanka, and I've continued it here as well, we break fast with something called kanji. Kanji is a rice porridge where we cook the rice, and once it's fully cooked, we mash it and we add some coconut milk. We have it with a side of coconut sambal. It's really delicious and it really keeps you full. Sometimes I make beef kanji or chicken kanji or vegetable kanji. And what that is I just make a beef broth or stew, same as with chicken or vegetables, and I'll add that to the kanji. So I mix that up and it's very flavorful and Everyone in my family loves it. Along with that, we always eat an appetizer. We'll have some sandwiches, spring rolls, empanadas. In Sri Lanka, we call them patties, samosas, dumplings. I like to make each iftar interesting with different kinds of food. I try my best to air fry most of them because I try to not have too many fried things on the table. In all honesty, it's not easy trying to be healthy when you're fasting, because when those cravings set in, all you want to do is eat something that makes you happy, Some days when the time of breaking fast is later on, we just go for rice and curry. So the time of breaking fast is called iftar, and we break our fast with a date. The practice of eating a date is a tradition of our Holy Prophet Muhammad. May peace and blessings be upon him. He used to break his fast with a date. Dates are rich in nutrients and vitamins, minerals, and they help to replenish your body and give you a boost of energy. One downside about fasting is that people spend all day long in the kitchen trying to whip up this amazing feast to break your fast with. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. Like, I wake up each day thinking, what do I cook? What am I going to make today? What will my kids love? What will my husband love? What will my family and relatives who visit me that day love? But it's important to realize that food should not be the focus in Ramadan. That's all. It's pointless when you're exhausted at the end of the day because you slaved yourself in the kitchen when you should have been spending that time in prayer and doing charitable deeds. So here's a little story time. I first started fasting when I was 9 years old. I grew up in Kandy, Sri Lanka, and I remember when I first started fasting, it wasn't easy, but I wouldn't fast the whole day. I was only 9. I was still little, but that's an okay age to start fasting. I didn't fast the whole day through. I would break my fast around 1 o'clock on the first day, and on the second day, I would break my fast around 2, and the next day around 3. I would try to extend the hours so that my body and my stomach get used to going hours without food. And that's how all Muslims kind of ease into it, especially if you're starting to fast as a child. I used to have all these cravings, and I have a really bad sweet tooth. So I used to crave these little candies and little cupcakes and eclairs and all the fun stuff, right? I would ask my dad to take me to this little boutique where I would go in there, and I was literally a kid in a candy store. I would buy all these delicious little treats, come home, and then after I had broken fast and eaten my mom's delicious food, I had absolutely no space in my stomach. But once I got hungry again later on in the evening, I would, snack on these things and then keep it for the next day. This brings us to the end of this episode of The Passionate Palate. I really hope you guys enjoyed listening to what fasting is all about during Ramadan. If you're Muslim and fasting this Ramadan, I want to wish you all a beautiful and blessed Ramadan Kareem. And please share some of your Ramadan experiences with me, some stories, maybe some recipes. I would love to know what you make in your culture, maybe something that I haven't made before. So please share your recipes with me. And if you're not Muslim, please, if you have any questions about Ramadan that you would like to ask me, please let me know. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and follow me on Instagram and TikTok. Don't forget to tune into my next episode where we'll have more fun, tasty conversations. And always remember, don't count the calories, count the delicious memories.